I know a little disappointing, but just talk to me a little bit about the game against Grand Valley State.
Well, Omar, going in, coaching cliche 101, we talked about we're not into moral victories, and we even talked about that at halftime. And I think the radio show, the news media right afterwards, Coach, I know you're not interested in moral victories, but were there any silver linings? What we are interested in is consistent improvement, and we improved in a lot of areas. In fact, some ways we had remarkable improvement from week 1 to week 2. We obviously still have some areas we need to improve on to have a successful season.
Early on, you guys kind of moved the ball well, got down for the field goal. Overall, the offense moved the ball pretty well, though, would you say?
First half, our defense was overmatched. We knew that going in, so our game plan was certainly ball control, utilizing the 40-second clock, playing well on third down, extending drives, shortening the game, and the kids executed flawlessly, except for the red zone. We came up with 3 field goals, certainly a touchdown or 2 or 3. You can't squander those opportunities on the road against a national caliber football team. And then the second half, they flipped the script on us. I think it was 20 minutes to 10 in the first half, time of possession for the good guys. The Dogs had the ball for 20. Second half, they had it for 20, which was our worst nightmare with a really good offense. And to our kids' credit, we battled, even following behind 24-9. We're able to get on the board, went for 2 and didn't get it. But they hung in there and fought and battled pretty well for most of the way.
Conrad had a pretty good game overall, would you say?
He was solid. We've got to improve on both sides of the football our passing game. Our pass defense with our defensive secondary, our rush element with our front 4. We've got to improve big time, very quickly, or we're going to have a long year back there. And offensively, we have been able to run the ball fairly consistently the first 2 weeks, and with that, Omar, you got to be able to throw the ball down the field. We have to throw the ball better. That's Conrad, and we got to protect a little bit better. We had some protection issues as well against a high caliber opponent, but so the passing game on both sides of the football is kind of a point of emphasis for us.
As far as your defense, Coach, how satisfied are you with how they played?
Well, I think that Grand Valley will have one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in the nation. At the end of the day, they've led the country the last 2 years in passing efficiency, and they have a returning quarterback. I don't know if he'll play in the NFL, but he'll be in an NFL camp. So they're not a common opponent. And they had a really strong run-pass conflict. They could run the football as well. I thought, shock and awe, the first drive, getting used to the speed, the intensity, which a high-caliber opponent could play. I thought our defensive front really stepped up to the task and at least made it a stalemate for 2.5 quarters, from the middle of the first quarter through the end of 3 quarters. And we wore down a little bit in the fourth in terms of our run defense.
As far as Tremaine, how happy have you been with his play so far?
Well, he's an exceptional athlete and an exceptional young man. There's not many college football players at any level that are playing on both sides of the football. And he's playing some tailback and still has a seat at the table on that side. And you'll see more and more on the defensive side as well, because he's a solution to some of our problems defending the pass.
Looking ahead, Coach, to Saturday, I think it's William Penn. What can you kind of tell me about them?
As you're getting me, Omar, we're in the middle of game planning, and quite frankly, and it's not coaching cliche, our opponent's really not the problem right now. We're really focusing on ourselves and our own execution and consistency, and obviously we're going to look at game plans and see what we think the best way to do some of the things we do, but we're more of a battle with ourselves at this point in the season.
Awesome. Anything you want to add, Coach?
Nope.